What's up, gang? Hope everybody's doing well today. If it's your first time listening to the show, please like and subscribe, as well as share it with all your friends. You can find us on all of your major podcast platforms: Google, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Basically, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can find our show. We really appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing it with your friends. For all the returning listeners, great to see you again. Hope everybody's doing well. And thank you so much for switching your Amazon over to the Smile service and choosing Professional Firefighters of North Carolina Charitable Fund to be your charity of choice. We really appreciate that, as well as the firefighters who will benefit from you doing that. They greatly appreciate it as well. If you haven't done that yet, I'll leave a link to how to do that in the description below before the show gets started. Go ahead and take you about 2 minutes and get that knocked out. We really appreciate it. Next on the show, we've got firefighter Jason Sinclair from New Hanover County, and we've got Access of Wilmington Executive Director, Mr. John Smist. Jason and another co-worker have joined with Access of Wilmington to do this run. It's called the 41 Run, and it is where Jason and his co-worker, as well as other folks who signed up to do it with them, are going to run 41 miles from station to station, the whole, everything that New Hanover County covers in the fire district. So all the fire stations together, that makes 41 miles. They're going to do that in a 24-hour period. So we talk about that. We talk about how the idea came about, what the purpose of the run is, as well as some things that Access Wilmington does that I guarantee you a lot of people don't know about. It's a great organization doing some really great things in our local community. We appreciate Jason and John spending time and being gracious with their time with us. Here's Jason and John. Enjoy the show.
A shift, folks, so we work tomorrow.
Today's the C shift, so I was off. Swam for the first time since all summer, since I'm getting ready for the triathlon after the 20K trail run. So it's a busy fall. But
How far away is this? Like your time frame is you're starting to swim now and prep, so
I'll pound those things on so you can get used to what it sounds like when you got the microphone.
what is the
Cord goes left.
left?
There you go. Yeah.
What's the time frame to?
for the swimming, like how much swimming time, training time do you need to be proficient?
That's a good question. It's kind of just I'm getting time in the pool, and it's also different because pool swimming is a lot different from open water swimming, and I was just never a swimmer, so I'm giving it at least 2 months. The sprint triathlon is about 800 meters, and it depends on what the current's like, so sometimes it could be a little bit easier, sometimes it's harder, but 2 months.
Yeah.
You're going to definitely want to fix your microphone. You're very hollow. You need to speak into it directionally.
He'll learn. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He'll learn.
Yeah.
I did not work on the radio show
That's
before
cool.
this.
Keep that thing about a fist away from your face. Perfect. Do
And
that
don't
again.
keep turning like this.
Do
Look
that.
at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you do, just take it with you.
Yeah.
That's the beauty. Just take it with you.
All right.
It won't take but about 20 minutes or so, and it'll disappear anyway.
true.
So
Yeah.
you won't even know it's there anymore. Nobody moves a microphone or is harder on equipment than I am. I promise you.
Fact. Yeah. Yeah. You can Google that shit.
Yeah. I'll be bumping this thing back here and then pulled it back, and
But they're expensive.
it's a dance. I know. It doesn't. It's a dance with me.
Yeah.
It's a dance. Stop that.
It sounded like you had voltage in your hand when you put it up. It was like, bzzz. Probably does. It's all right.
Yeah, my daughter's at football practice right now, so this is the end of the first week. So, Pop Warner.
John, I just got to say, you sound wonderful on a microphone. Even better.
I've done this a few times.
Yeah. Not the first time around.
So you got the daughter playing football.
Yes.
Her choice or your choice?
Her choice.
That's what I'm talking about.
100% her choice. All of, from the time that she was born, she's always been around sports. So when I was covering things here in town, on a weekend, my wife would be working. She'd like, hey, can you take Caroline with you? So she would be sitting courtside with me at UNCW basketball games or at a baseball game. And like all the ladies that run the concessions would be like, Caroline, come here, get food. So she always equates sporting events with food.
Yeah.
And all that food was free. And then, we would go up to, whether it's a Panthers game or something like that, then all of a sudden food's not free. And it's like Caroline's like, I want this. I'm like, no. Well, what happened? Why can't I get this? Because it's not free anymore.
Not around home anymore.
Yeah, so she loves it. This is now her 4th season. So last year, her team lost one game. They went to just outside of Charlotte for a bowl game. Won that like 35-0. She had 10 sacks in the season. She's starting defensive end.
I was just about to say, what position does she play?
Starting defensive end.
Gangster, son.
Yeah. Well, she's on the 10U team, and so she's just 11, and she's the second tall. She's 5'4", 116.
Heard that.
Nice. 10U. What's the age range? So everybody's within a year of each other?
Yeah, so it's 12U, so everyone has to be 11 or 12.
Gotcha.
So she was on the 10U last year, and they all moved up. So they have 2 12Us last year. So they had one 12U. Now we were the 10U that moved up, so we have 2 12Us. So it's going to be interesting.
That's cool. Does the level, I'm big into baseball. I have an 8-year-old son. We've been, I've been in baseball my whole life. I love baseball. Is the level of competition in like the same with baseball? Like the older they get, the significant difference it is in like football.
Yeah, so it will this is kind of like that cutoff year,
okay.
Because they're all 6th graders. So in middle school, you can't play football as a 6th grader. Only 7th and 8th graders can.
Okay.
So this is kind of like that last year until we get to middle school, and then so she'd have 7th and 8th grade. If she chooses to play there, and then goes from there.
I got
but
you.
it does. Last year there was a kid, Josiah was his name. He was 6'3", 320 pounds, 13-year-old. So he was still in the he was still in the 12U team, but played in.
That's incredible numbers.
Is there stipulation to the weight and
there used to be?
If
they
you
got
can carry
rid
the
of
ball
that.
or not? Okay, so
They
you
got
can
rid
be
of-
Josiah can carry the ball.
But he has nothing. He's the softest. Like he's a teddy bear. He has no piss and vinegar in him. I mean, seriously.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank
you
God.
watch him, and he's just a big kid that has no idea how strong he is.
I'll be nice.
6'3". How
About probably 320 easily.
Oh my God.
Can anyone tackle him at all?
Oh no, I'll find there's
You get ball, run.
Yeah.
The name of this game is give the ball to Josiah.
I mean the kid is
Yeah. Or what's the other one? It's got Sandra Bullock in it.
the blind side.
The Blind Side. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
He was a giant human too.
This kid, he is. I gotta find where the picture. He's just in it's not even fair. When you're, but the problem is, I don't know if he's playing this year. Last year he had an infection in his nose that went to his brain, and then he had to have surgeries to remove that. He was actually in Duke for a couple of weeks.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean, if that's my kid, I'm never letting him play football again. Unfortunately, but I don't know what will happen. But yeah, just a monster. They actually did a story with him on WECT. Let me see if I can find a picture of him.
Big fella. When I was 10, I was on an all-star team. We made it to the World Series, and I was on the 11, 12-year-old team. And the pitcher in the game we lost at the end, it was Oklahoma. The kid was like over 6 feet, mustache. We were all like, Come on.
Did
That's
you
the
drive
coach.
here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Stud. Big fella.
Bro.
So,
Yeah.
how much have you paid attention to baseball around here?
I live in Duplin County, so not a whole lot.
Okay.
Duplin County, we still are Dixie Youth involved. I
Yep.
don't think there's any of that here.
Brunswick County's Dixie.
Brunswick County. Yeah, we
Yep.
played. My son's team. We made it to the state tournament, so we played some Brunswick County teams. Town Creek actually won
Okay.
the World Series for 8U.
So
ball.
since
Nice.
I've been
Yeah.
here, so I got here in 2010. That year, Laney won a state championship. East Columbus won a couple or one, and then there was that Whiteville run where they had Mackenzie.
Yeah,
Gore.
Whiteville's always been dope. Yeah,
Yeah, they were really good. But they had Mackenzie Gore, who was just filthy.
Well, there's a kid in Duplin County right now. He's really tall, super tall and lanky, and he's a baseball phenom. So he's 11 and a half years old, and I think he's actually like 6'3", 6'4", and he throws the ball like almost 80 miles an hour, which, you know, on a 12U pitcher's mound, that's like, it's equivalent of like 113 for majors. He's nasty. Yeah, he's real nasty. They went to the World Series in Alabama, and I think they came in second. They lost, I think, a Texas team. Buckner's boy plays with them.
I'll never forget Mackenzie Gore. It was the playoffs. I think it might have been his junior or senior year. And they're on the road. There's 2 on, no outs. He comes in, he walks a guy. And you can hear the other dugout like, he's not that good. He's not that good. He proceeds to strike out the side, looks over, and just stares at him as they walk off, as he walks off the mound. I think he pitched like 83 innings and struck out like 190 batters. I mean, his ERA was .083.
God.
Like he did not give up runs.
Mercy.
But he was a lefty, you know, who was throwing 95.
Yeah.
I mean, what high schooler is going to hit a 95 mile an hour fastball?
Not this guy.
No. Yeah.
Did I tell you the story of my best friend in high school, still my best friend today? He's 6'7". His name's Pat. He can take a baseball and lay it in the palm of his hand and take his middle finger and his thumb and touch them together around the baseball and just hold it like that. It's the most incredible thing. But he came home, I think right before his sophomore year started. He played college ball, and he was like, man, I need to go, he said, I need to go throw a bullpen, so I need to go throw 40 pitches. He was like, run out there to high school, you know, you caught all through high school and all that good stuff, go catch for me. I was like, all right, cool. So I get out there, I squat down, chilling, sitting back there. I ain't got no gear on, nothing. He throws the ball, the first pitch, throws the ball, and it goes over my glove, hits the backstop before I go.
Done. I'm done.
It's like, bro, are you insane? I was like, there's no way. He was like, come on. I was like, no, you're going to kill me.
Yeah. Just throw it at the fence.
Yeah, not your face.
He had about half a semester left. He went to A&T. He was drafted by the Phillies, and he had about a half a semester left of college. Not long at all, like weeks. He was almost done. And he called me on a Tuesday and was like, what are you doing? And I was like, just got off work. I was working here for County Fire. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I just got off work, just hanging around the house for a little bit. And then I got to go cut grass or something. I think I was cutting grass really heavy back then. And he was like, why don't you get your trailer and come get me? And I was like, do what? And he was like, yeah. I was like, dude, you just like got drafted and stuff. I was like, you're done. He was like, it's just not fun anymore. I was like, all right, I'll see you in about 2 hours.
That's crazy.
So went, got him. We brought all his shit home from A&T, which is in Greensboro, and
that was it.
Never picked up a baseball since. I can't even get him to play softball. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Never touched it again. But he had it made. But like you said, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun. It's like a job. Like I feel like I'm being made to do it, and I don't like that. So, all right. Whatever, dude.
There's some incredible lessons to be learned around that. Like not for him specifically, but people around you. You can have somebody with all that talent, and you push them the wrong way, and you just made them leave a profession or leave something else, you know?
Yeah, I mean, his life was laid out.
Yeah.
And he, I guess, like he said, he was kind of just, you know, felt like he was being forced to do something, and he didn't really like that. So
everyone's wired differently. Because I mean, honestly, I can do something for a long time and be miserable or whatever if it's a means to the end.
That's right.
But I mean, there are some people that if it doesn't fulfill them, they're done. Boom, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a blend, you know. It's something you're good at, something that could make you money, and something that you really like to do. So it's trying to find that middle. But I mean, a means to the end. Bartending was a big thing in college. You know, it was paying the rent, paying me through student loans, and I was good at it. But it just wore me out after a while, and I don't want to do it much longer.
It's because you're so damn sexy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch that movie with Tom Cruise to get ready for
Cocktail?
yeah, that's it.
Do you throw bottles?
A little bit of flair. You know, I try.
Great movie, by the way.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's inspired a lot of dropped liquor bottles behind the bars And
Millions of dollars worth of vodka gone. Yeah.
That's why I gotta get those fully plastic ones because there's gonna be a lot of dropping.
We'll have to do a special segment on us trying to flip bottles.
Yeah, it'll be short. Yeah. I count about maybe 15 tries over there.
That stuff's too good to try.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
No.
We'll take an empty bottle and try it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. So, gentlemen, the reason for the occasion, we, myself, Steve, I pitched the idea to Steve. Obviously, it was a no-brainer. What's going on? What's coming up on the 20th? The 41 run. So, for the listeners and everybody else that's around, let's dissect where this whole inception of the idea came from, the purpose behind it. I'm behind it 100%. I can't run 41 miles. Obviously, I'm broken, so I can't do that. But and I wouldn't do it if I was well. But
Yeah.
But kind of where did it come? How did it come? We'll start with you, Jason. Where did it? How did the idea come about? And then we'll get to why Access wanted to be a part of it and all that good stuff. So let's dive into it, man.
Yeah. So I'll have to give a little bit of credit to Captain Best, Travis Best.
Okay.
This was his crazy idea. He said, "Why don't you just run from station to station?" And we're like, "No way, that we can't do that." So that ended up being 41 miles. Because just take a step back too, Simi and I were doing a lot of endurance runs. We did the Battleship Half Marathon last year. The Wrightsville Beach Triathlon was last year. The swim got canceled. And then we just did a swim run in Lake James area in the mountains in western North Carolina. It was about 12 miles of trail running and 3 miles of open water swimming. And it was a great experience. So we were looking for our next endeavor, and Travis suggested that. We're like, there's just no way we can run that long. But that's kind of like a lot of other bigger issues. You kind of have to break it down. So 41 miles. That's going to be from station to station, but it's really about how you kind of break it down and stop each station and take a little rest, rehydrate, stretch, and then go on to the next one. So once Simi and I kind of like talked about it a little bit more, and we've done a half marathon. That's the longest leg, going from Station 12 and 421 all the way down to Monkey Junction, Myrtle Grove. That's 13.6 miles. So we've ran that distance. And the rest are, in a 7.7, a 5, a 3. But, we kind of broke it down and we said, we can do this. The past few runs that we've done, we've kind of just trained. And it's just, let's just see what our physical ability can do. But then during this trail run and open water swim, we weren't hydrated properly. We were not stretching out properly. We probably had a little bit too much to drink the night before. We were just having a good time, So this one's a lot about strategy, and it's not just, beating our head against the wall. It's kind of breaking it down a little bit and trying to strategize getting through those 41 miles.
What's the idea behind it all? Travis just was like, "Hey, y'all should just go run from station to station." Or,
He's got great ideas. Sometimes they stick,
doubt.
sometimes they don't.
They stink more than they are good. But
all right, to be honest, yeah, for sure. But so this one stuck, and we thought about it a little more, and it is to really highlight the different districts in New Hanover County.
Okay.
So kind of the day in the life of a firefighter and around the county. What we want to do is accent 24 hours, so starting at 7 a.m. and ending at 7 a.m. So the 24-hour shift is kind of what we're basing off of. And then starting up at Station 14 in Porter's Neck, going all the way across the northern side of New Hanover County to 421, Station 12, and then all the way down to Station 19 in Federal Point. So we're going to visit each firehouse, see each company, so we can kind of show the citizens what the different firehouses look like, and also what each district kind of looks like while running through them. So that's kind of why we're doing this 41 run, and kind of like how we formulated it after the fact of just saying, this sounds like a cool idea, but that's what we're going for.
Yeah, it seems like when I remember hearing about it, I'm lucky enough to be in the same house as you and Timmy, so just kind of hearing about it, I was like, it sounds cool. I was on board, obviously, from the beginning, but what it's kind of morphed, I guess you could say, or what it's kind of transpired to end up being when it actually gets I don't think it's anything what you thought.
No, absolutely not. The beginning was like, this is crazy. There's no way. And then Simi was all about it. And then we met with a couple other people, and it actually was like, oh, actually, this is a really good idea. And I got really excited, and Simi got really worried. So we've just been kind of working off each other a little bit. But yeah, Matt Simmons, my driver. So he's at Station 17, just got promoted as captain. So congrats to him. But we've been working together for 2 years now. I'm the rookie there. I've only been there for 2 years, and I'm lucky to be working with you guys. So
Yeah, you are.
So it's kind of just while working together, working out these problems and kind of formulating this idea for 41 Run into something more than it just started as, which is cool.
Right, how many legs? So 8?
Yeah, so 8 legs, starting at 14. I'm not sure if I should discuss where they're all going, but 14 to 16 to Ogden. And then we're going to take the back roads a little bit to Station 17 in Murrayville. Go straight down towards 11, and then go up to Castle Hayne, kind of backtrack a little bit, go across from 140 to hit Station 12, and then go all the way down to Monkey Junction and then 19. So 8 legs. Furthermore, we have an opportunity for other firefighters to join in too. It's not just Simi and I. We know we like to do endurance running, but we wanted to open this up to the whole department. So we chose to break it down into 8 different legs. So if someone who doesn't want to run 41 miles can also participate, which is good. We have a lot of runners that are going to do either one leg or multiple legs. There are a few signed up to do the whole thing with us. So it should be exciting. It gives everyone a chance to get motivated to stay in shape. You know, health and wellness is a very important initiative with our department. So
Sure.
It gives them that opportunity.
Is there anybody running the entire 41 other than you two? Have you had anybody that's like, yeah, let's do it?
So, yeah, Peter Gilardo, he is signed up to do the whole thing.
Jesus.
And then, yeah, and he's been running. It's a lot of heat training. But and then Jamie Beasley has also said he would like to do the whole thing. He's going to run. He's going to run from Station 14 to Station 12 and see how he feels. And then it's kind of going to be overnight. It's around midnight. We're leaving Station 12 and going to 18 for that half marathon run. He's going to see how he feels.
Sure.
Yeah.
He was walking around in a pair of Brooks the other day.
Sure
So-
was.
Was he?
Yeah.
See, that's motivation. There you go.
We came out from eating at Copper Penny, and him and his entire family was sitting on the bench outside of Copper Penny, and we all almost got hit by cars
Yeah.
because we were like falling out in the street.
Yeah.
Jamie Beasley is he's a turkey farmer, row crop farmer, fireman, somebody you would never in a billion years anticipate seeing in downtown Wilmington ever. And you remember what he said? We were like, dude, what are you doing here? He's like, my kids have never been to a place like this.
The Copper Penny?
Yes.
I mean, a spectacular restaurant, but
No
I wouldn't.
doubt,
But I wouldn't say that it is. It's not a New York City fine dining.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, my boys have never been to a place like this. And I was
What
like,
does like this mean?
well,
Yeah. Downtown.
they've probably
Yeah.
never seen buildings that big ever in their life. So,
Yeah.
but super great dude for sure.
Beasley was actually the first one that I met, or the second person. So it was Whitwam I first got introduced to, and then Beasley was in charge of the volunteers at the time. When I moved down, it was right after Florence that I went to Station 18, and Jamie was kind of the one who got me on board for volunteering. So I volunteered a lot of time with Captain Cross and Beasley and Hardy. So I'm kind of rooting for him. I know his character. I know he's a good guy, and I know he's the kind of person where if someone tells him you can't do that, he's going to turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I can."
Yeah.
Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's I've known him for forever. He's exactly how you described. He's a fantastic dude. So John, how did Access Wilmington catch wind of this, and how did y'all's paths cross in this whole thing? Did they reach out to you and be like, help?
It was actually they have been really great throughout the years. Now I've been here since February of 2001 as the executive director of Access of Wilmington. Just a quick background: we do health and wellness for people with both physical and intellectual disabilities. And kind of our signature program that a lot of people know about is our Miracle League. And so on Saturdays, you folks come out to the park, and it's a big highlight for some of the kids that the pull in with the fire department, and they just think that's awesome. So I was sitting in my office, and one of our board members who works in the county called me and said, "Hey, can you come down to the station?" And I was like, "Sure." And so we're just a hop, skip, and a jump. So 2 minutes later, I'm at the station. They said, "We have this idea." I said, "Wow!" And they said, "We want to be able to do this to benefit you folks." And I was like, "Sold." I couldn't say no. And then they're like, "How do we do this?" And we run a race every year in March. So I said, I have a little experience. We've done it now twice. So just been kind of helping them with the nuts and bolts of how to get that together. And then the media aspect of trying to get this to the masses so people can learn what they're doing. Not just like you said, it's benefiting Access, but I think there's a lot of other things that you look at this. It's the training, it's the perseverance, it's now bringing awareness to everybody of the different stations and what's going on. So I mean, this whole run is taken on a lot more.
Sure.
Yeah, it was at Station 17. It was kind of just in the planning process, and it was Bodine, who we have a really good relationship with. Absolutely. And we see him out at the Miracle League, and we had Captain Bobsine there, and Bodine and Simi and I, and all of a sudden Bodine's like, "Hold on, let me just make a call real quick," and calls up John, and it's like, "Hey, can you come around the corner?" And then he shows up, and this is where it kind of really ramped up and got exciting, because with Bodine and John there, it was great enthusiasm and great energy they put into the plan, and it was kind of like, it turned into, it was like me and Simi like, "Oh, we can do this," to "You guys can definitely do this. We'll support you, and we love this idea," and that gave us the energy to keep going. So that was great. Yeah,
and it's truly special when as an organization that we are, when you guys think of us, and want to help us, but it's like you guys are helping everybody, and now it's just a special, special event, special organization for anybody who hasn't been out. Check out Miracle League. It starts up September 10th. It is amazing to see when a parent or a kid is out on the field and they're able to play baseball, depending on what they're they're going through, to have a parent be able to sit down for that hour and not have to worry about their child and be able to see the joy in their face, because a lot of these parents are the caregivers for their children 24 hours a day. So they have that 1 hour block that they can just kind of sit down, decompress, look and see my child who has, grown up with all these difficulties, depending on what it is, having fun. They're paired up with a buddy. They're running around the field. They're hitting the baseball, and that look on the parent is almost as satisfying as it is of the child going out and having a good time. So it's a really cool program, and it's just one of the 6 programs that we have. Access started back in 2008 with the Miracle League, and then in 2013 got the big field. And we've now have, recreational therapy. We have accessible adventures, which we actually have vehicles, 2 hoppers that are used for people with mobility issues that we can take them out onto the beach. We can go out on nature trails. We have really expanded everything that we do. This month past month, we had 2 accessible surfing events. We had people that hadn't been in the ocean in 20 years, that have, different ailments, whether it be CP or this, all types of different things. And they were able to get out on a surfboard and enjoy themselves. So it's pretty special. So if you ever have an opportunity to come out to the field, definitely do so.
Yeah, I agree. We're lucky enough that the Miracle Field's right there in Olson Park, so it's in our district. Excuse me. And I've been privileged since it was built, several, probably dozens and dozens of times that I've been out there, and I completely agree with you. I've never seen an upset kid there ever, or an upset parent for that matter. No. I've never had anything but a great time, and it can be 200 degrees out there, and it's hot, and it never matters. The kids are all smiles, the parents are all smiles. It's hard to have anything other than a great time out there.
And it's amazing the difficulties that some of these children go through, just their everyday lives. But while they're out there for that hour, they're just happy.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's not just the accessibility to the adaptive sports; it's the socialization. There are all types of different things that people are learning. My daughter's gone out there, and it's compassion. It's learning to be acceptive of other people for their differences. There's so many different things that you can learn that I wish everybody would learn. That it's not about you. It's about the greater good of the humankind.
Agree. So the partnership with Access and the 41 Run, is it just to bring awareness to Access, or are we raising funds? Or both? Or
I would say both. Yeah, we are reaching out to local businesses, and we have a sponsorship letter that we gave out to anyone that wanted to donate towards Access of Wilmington. And individuals or companies can both donate. It's not just one or the other. But it was to raise a little bit of money, but also raise awareness. And it's something that has impacted a lot, like you guys were saying, a lot of firefighters that went out there and was able to go on the field with these individuals and have a really good time. So, yeah, it's both.
So are the funds raised from the 41 Run, are they going to, so they're going to Access Wilmington, right? Or are they going?
Correct. So they're kind of being funneled into the charitable fund. Okay. So that we can just collect and aggregate all of them. And then, yes, after that, we will be presenting a check to Access Wilmington.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I would suggest we do it September 10th, the opening day of the American League, if you want to do that, or one of those weeks.
Not a bad idea.
Hey, can you pull up the shift calendar real quick? See who's on shift September 10th?
We can figure it out. We have, September 10th is the first week, and we have 10 weeks to be able to do that.
It would just be mighty convenient if it's C shift. So
C shift.
Who's coming off? B shift?
There you go.
So he'll be in-house already.
Because we had the idea, we're going to be finished with the race at 7 o'clock, and I'm not sure if anyone wants to go all the way down to Station 19 at 7 in the morning and see us half walking, half crawling.
Yeah, give yourself some days to recover. And,
The permit process, is it expensive?
There is actually none, as far as I know. There's just a lot of, because we do our 5K road race on Corporate Drive, it is a DOT road. So I've learned all these different things. It's just event planning that you have to put, different, notices, sign this off. And because it is a little bit smaller, it is not as robust as a 5K where you may have 200-300 people out on a road. You're not closing it. You're having, a pace car, someone with them that for safety. And the only notification was because it will slow down traffic. So that day of, there are going to be cars that pass them and this, that, and the other. So it's more of a safety thing, just to make sure that there's nothing that goes on with that. But it should be awesome. I've reached out to my media friends, hoping to get all of the major media in town to cover it, not just day of, because I think this is just like a human interest story. Like these guys going out there every day training. So, I'm trying to get them to come out before and talk to them about this and what they're doing, because I don't look at me. I've definitely, not run that often, but, my big question for you is, it's 41 miles. I know my wife trained for a half marathon. You just don't go out and run a half marathon. You have to do this. There's a rhyme and a reason to your training.
So the reason behind why we're training?
No, but how you do it. You only do a certain amount of miles, many days. You don't just go out and say, hey, I'm going to run 41 miles, see if I can run 41 miles.
Yeah, so just a lot of research into training plans and, starting off slow and just building up from starting with 2 miles, starting with 5 miles, And a lot of people have metrics that they look at online and they say, I have to run an 8-minute mile or a 10-minute mile, but it depends on how hot it is outside, how hydrated you are, what level of fitness you have. And I'm saying just anyone from the start can go out there and just start walking really fast and start running at a 12-minute pace. Like you said, we do have a chase vehicle. We're going to be trying to stay together on the road and running about a 10 to 12-minute pace because it's a long distance. But yes, you just kind of start at the beginning and work your way up. And that's kind of the journey that I've been on for the past, year and a half, 2 years. I started doing a 5K and a 10K down in Carolina Beach, and kind of just worked up from there into a half marathon. And it's been that journey of the learning process in order to, the capabilities of my body, in order to push myself a little bit more each day and see what I can accomplish.
How do you fuel yourself? Because I know that, let's say I have breakfast. I'm going to wait and chill before I go do something. You say you're stopping at all the different stations. Is that a time where you're able to refuel? And what type of food are you preparing to eat? Because I wouldn't think, I'm going to have a steak. Is it something that you have already thought out what you're going to be eating?
Yeah, just
Yeah. Lots of crack.
So I'm just, I like to read a lot of books about running, and it's just a little bit different than marathon or half marathon running, when you just want to carb load a couple days beforehand and then use that extra glycogen storage in your muscles. We do have the opportunity that we're going to be stopping at the stations and stretching and rehydrating and refueling. So, a lot of runners in these ultra marathons or marathons, they'll just eat the gels with water or some kind of nutrition that's just liquid that their digestive system can take easily. And, they say they're trying to say nowadays that it's more of like a competition in people's digestive system, whether you can absorb the carbohydrates or not. So what we're going to do is definitely eat in the beginning a very heavy carb load meal. But throughout it, when we're arriving at the station, try to eat and digest early when it comes to peanut butter sandwich or just white rice. So something that's not too heavy in fats or proteins that's going to sit in your stomach for a long time. But it's been a little bit of an experiment, because I can't just train on an empty stomach every day, and then all of a sudden you do a half marathon that morning, you eat an egg sandwich. Like, you're just going to be miserable. So you kind of have to train your body, and we're going to be using different strategies. Like Simi or Pete may eat something a little bit different than I will, but it's kind of like a process of elimination. I say you're just going to go do it a lot and see what works and see what doesn't work.
I have a request. Anybody ever watch NASCAR and you see when they're showing going down the backstretch or whatever, you have the little highlighted thing with the arrow,
right.
Who's winning and who's in second,
right.
RPMs? That would be amazing. So you guys stream this thing live and we get to watch who's winning. I'm in.
You'd be the fastest miles on planet Earth.
Yeah.
The fastest miles?
Yeah, if you knew that your level of performance was being broadcast and people got to see
millions of people.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. You'd be like, there ain't no way I'm about to be behind.
And then 5 miles in, he just burns out.
That would be my problem. But I'm dusting all these dudes.
Yeah.
It's going to be different.
If I got 5 miles.
It's going to be an adventure. It's usually, we participate in these things where we're not in the front of the pack. So we're trailing, and it's a learning process for us. So this is something where we're just going to be going out and sticking as a group and trying our best and just getting to the next station, whether we kind of have to just, push ourselves along a little bit, but we want to stay together. But it's going to be different. It's going to be an adventure.
Yeah, you said that. It made me remember the first 5K that I ever ran. I've only ran 3, so don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one that I ever ran was 4 years ago, and it was in Corolla, which is in the Outer Banks. And I remember starting. I was in way better shape 4 years ago than I am right now. But it started out, ready, set, go. And I remember all these people, they were hauling ass. And I was like, are they running a different race than I am?
Yeah.
Are they running 100 yards and quitting or whatnot? Yeah. But and then I remember it because it was all just down and around and back. So it was just, so you got to see everybody all the time. And I remember getting 1 mile in, and these people were coming back. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when you run, are you a music person? Are you a podcast person? Or are you just that you like to hear the pounding of the pavement with your feet?
Only primary complete. I get it.
Yeah.
And it's certainly on there a lot. But when I'm running by myself, music and podcast, just a mix of both. But the day of the race, and to go on what you're saying, is the day of the race, I like to not listen to music because I kind of want to hear everyone cheering on and the energy of the group. Usually there's hundreds of people out, and then this one's going to be a little bit less, but we leave in the stations. We're going to get support from the crews there. And that's what you said, to this half marathon. I've been, I was trying to do like around a 2-hour half marathon, and all of a sudden people start running really fast. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to run really fast. And then I just never stopped running really fast. And I finished I did a 13 miles, 13.1 with an 8-minute mile. So I finished like in an hour and 45 minutes. So there's a lot of energy that I want to take from the runners around me. But when it's 5 o'clock in the morning and it's just me, I'll plug in a podcast, listen to some Primary Complete,
And do you find yourself, do you have a specific type of music that you like? I know that, you throw in some Metallica or something like that. That 10-minute mile pace has gone down to 7, and then you're 3 miles in and then you're dead. Do you have something that you like to pace yourself with?
Yeah, I like to listen to a little more high-intensity music. There's actually a couple of playlists on Spotify where the beats is a certain cadence that you want to keep your feet to try to lower my cadence. So it's not like about running faster. I do look at my watch and try to keep a certain pace, but keep my cadence up with the music so I have shorter strides. So I'm hitting with my midfoot, and it kind of saved my legs a little bit.
Everybody's from different places. When, you have friends that are in the business elsewhere, when you tell them what you're doing, what do they say to you? Did they look at you and say, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, certainly. It's not common for these super long endurance runs around here. It's half and half. Sometimes people are like, "Why are you doing that? Why?" And then some people are very supportive, and it's a mix. But you're going to get that with everything. For some reason, I don't know why I've just loved it so much lately. I was never a runner. I was always pretty heavy, through college. Again, I was a bartender and a bar manager, just up until 4 o'clock in the morning, closing the bar down, waking up at noon. So I had bad habits, but it's getting up before the sun rises and running and going the distance and trying to push my body mentally and physically in order to get it done. That's really helped.
Have you guys prepared weather? I've seemed like you guys. This is your podcast, and I'm the one asking all the questions.
There is an art to listening. There's an art to it. Mm-hmm.
So. Have you prepared for different types of weather? Whether it be 100 degrees, you can prepare for that. But like rain, what do you do? What is your whole? Do you know what you're going to wear? Will that change?
So yeah, we just set the ladder truck up and get the shower nozzle going on. So whether it's raining, sun, cold, hot, we've trained in all of it. We just need to be prepared with that. Equipment's going to come a long way. That's more of Simi's forte. He loves the equipment side of it, but more of like we have a couple pairs of shoes, multiple socks, changes of clothes. We're going to be using the shower facilities there, and definitely changing a lot of equipment out. We're even going to be bringing like a bucket to like do an ice bath, try to reduce the inflammation halfway if it's so hot.
Throw up in.
This is another thing that I randomly thought of. You guys say you're going to hydrate, that way. But will there be any need to, potentially have like these doctors that always have this the IVs? Have you thought about that, being able to hydrate that way?
Dr. Frank.
Yep.
Dr. Frank.
It's something I have heard around the station, yes. But, just trying to also take in the salt. That's a big thing of not just water and hydrate, but also the electrolytes and trying to just get the packets in while we're running. We'll have water bottles that have that kind of electrolyte water mix. But yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Might have to burn some connections on that one.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get you some of those IVs.
Yeah, we did that after the live burn, and I felt good.
That's one thing that the Frank Institute, they free plug here, Dr. Frank, love you, brother. That's something that they do. They do free IVs for firemen after a fire. So if you have a fire, obviously we can't just go there because we're still on shift, still have obligations we have to do. But the next day you can go and they'll stick you and get after it, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's
what I wish I had more experience with was they offered like different vitamins. I tried, I think it was vitamin B and something else, and I didn't notice like a big difference. I felt good, but it wasn't like I wasn't able to pinpoint
Sure.
I'd like to do it more enough and try some of the different ones so I could.
I just told her to put it all in my bag.
Yeah.
Just whatever's in that
Yeah.
drawer.
Yeah, keep dumping it in
that.
there.
I want
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's amazing how your body, the chemical balance, and that I would imagine when you're fighting a fire that you're just dripping and sweating and you're just losing everything, and you're not thinking in your head, hey, where's my water? I need to take this. You're worried about what's going on there.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure Steve and all of us can probably speak to this, but it's preparing. We learned a lot about this with Miss Carrie Sink when we had her on the preparatory. Just like you're preparing for this, that prehydration before we actually go on shift is ridiculously beneficial for us because once you're dehydrated, it's so hard to catch up. And with our job is we have to perform to the highest level of our ability, and then we may have to turn around and do it again, just like that. So as soon as the truck's back in service, you may have to do it again. So trying to play catch up is almost a hill too steep to climb. So we have to prepare. But yeah, obviously when we're fighting fire and all that, we're never thinking about how much water we're losing or anything. You're never thinking about that.
There's a strong difference of mind and body in that moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how long has that been? Is this relatively new? The thought of hydration and doing it because I mean, 20 years ago, were guys doing this and worrying about that, or were they just going out there and doing things?
I would probably say no, and it's probably still not near where the level it should be. It's not the awareness side of it is just not as much. Most of us hydrate before shift with bourbon of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no need to beat around the bush. I mean, so what we're hydrating with is probably not the best, but no, I would say there's definitely room for more education and more awareness when it comes to kind of prehydrating and pre-preparing yourself for the possibilities.
Yeah, I think 20 or 30 years ago is when they were just like, you know what, let's put filters on these cigarettes.
Right.
Yeah. That might be a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not running marathons.
No. Is this going to be an annual thing from now on, or is this a one and done?
We are going to decide that the day after the race.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Whatever they decide, I would hope that we still be able to have a great partnership in that sense that you guys are community stewards and do a great job keeping us all safe. And we love seeing you guys out at the field. I know the kids do. Just having that, knowing that there are people that have your back and appreciate what you do is very cool.
Absolutely.
Hey, is it too late for people to spend money and get their name on your shirts and stuff?
Not at all. We are still collecting sponsors. If they want to check out or send us some money, that can be found on Instagram too. There is a link to our union on Instagram or
the local page.
The local page.
Okay.
They can go on and they can write a check. There's a URL code up there. They can just kind of put money in that way. But certainly if they want to reach back out, they can still donate money, and they can also send their logo. We're going to have a couple banners on the side of the chase vehicle that we're going to be advertising for them if they support us this way.
What's the deadline?
Yeah, what's the deadline?
We're trying to get everyone done by the 7th or by Monday.
Yesterday?
Is what we're trying.
Yesterday is what it seems like.
Yeah, what's
today's the 5th.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Pretty soon. So
Okay.
the banner's got to be made, a little more preps, the shirt's got to be printed out.
I get
So
it.
a couple more days.
Who's doing the banner and stuff? Who's doing your shirts and your banners?
The shirts is Cape Fear T-shirt company.
Okay.
Same name, Captain. Who just used? Up on Castle Lane Road.
Okay.
Up that way. And then the banners, I'm not sure. They're Steve Aroni's sister.
Maybe we'll try to reach out to to those folks and see if we can maybe get that pushed to maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then see if we can maybe snag some, persuade some more people to get in there.
That's certainly really good. And if they want to be in the banner, that'd be great. But if they just want to donate afterwards, we'll be collecting donations all the way up until the run when we present the check.
Perfect.
And people can always go to our website, which is accessilm.org. That's ACCESSILM. And just give an opportunity to just take a look and see the different programs that we do. this past year we served over 700 people, and we've all dealt with COVID. And I went back and looked at the numbers, and we served or had more programming hours in 2021 than we did in 2019. So there are only 4 of us, that work at Access, but we're trying to do as much as we can to offer programs for people. Actually, going on right now out at the park, we have we're airing Moana, so they're doing our interns have to do a different service type thing. So they're doing a event with a movie night at the field. So that's what's going on right now there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about Access Wilmington. Y'all have come leaps and bounds. Just mostly, I just know it just from Bodine, great friend of ours, and then what I've seen at Miracle Field and all that. And it's the passion you guys put behind that stuff is one of a kind.
Can't say enough about Bo. Bo is. If you ever need anything, Bo's there for you. He knows everybody. He can get anything done. He's involved in 10,000 different organizations, but still has time to go out for a walk and take pictures of flowers. And it's like, does his clock run differently? Because mine's only 24 hours. I just can't find enough time for everything. It's like, man, I mean, he's a busy guy.
Yeah, he's been on this show before, and we were talking about this, me, Sinclair, and Simi, when I was pitching the idea to them or offering the opportunity to them. And Bodine's name came up, and I was like, look, with all due respect, we need to keep Bodine separate from this as far as that, because we'll be down there for 4 hours, and we'll never talk about the run.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I don't know if you've seen him. So we had a gala in the fall in October.
Yeah, I remember seeing stuff about that.
What I find, I worked in TV, and I used to do things, go up and speak to people and do this, and I still get nervous, and you may flub up a word and stutter or do this, and he just goes up off the cuff, and it's like he's got a gift to be able to just and it's so eloquent when he tells you this. It's right. Like he talks, and I'm like, man, you are too good at this. Some people have it. Some people have
talented.
It. Yeah, I agree. Love that guy to death. All right, well, I'll make sure that I put the stuff that you sent. I'll make sure I get that cleared up with you about the stuff through the local, and then I'll make sure your website and all that stuff gets linked into the show notes on this. And I'll try to have the show up by Tuesday at the latest, just kind of depending on how workflow goes. I'm starting tour tomorrow, so just I understand that this is very time sensitive, so I want to get it up as soon as possible. So expect to see something in the next few days.
Yeah,
really appreciate having us on.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, This is awesome. I mean, podcasts it's so funny that we have changed in the world where we all listen to radio, then we went to satellite radio, and it's like now where everybody's like, we're going back to the old school things and listening to people talk, and it's kind of refreshing when you can just hear something.
Yeah, that's
the nuts and bolts of it.
That's the nuts and bolts of this whole thing is the non-agenda conversation. I was telling him earlier, I was like, I know that our motto is non-agenda conversation, because none of our guests, we ever script anything. We never really even pre-talk about anything. We just kind of get in here and we just let the conversation dictate, and we just verbal joust and go at it. And I was like, we do have a little bit of an agenda tonight.
It's old school AM radio. I mean, that back in the day, that you'd be driving around. I've lived all over the place, and when there's no radio, you throw on the AM, and I'd be driving someplace on I-95, and I'd be like, I can get I think it's WWL out of New Orleans, and then you can try to maybe get something out of Chicago, or depending on where you are, you can it's hundreds of miles that these the AM radio dial the waves go. So it keeps you awake at night.
For sure. For sure. Well, we surely appreciate you fellas being gracious with your time.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys do a great job, and I'm glad he's running the 41 and not me.
Amen to that. Yeah, I second that for sure.
Hope for a cool day on the 20th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Cool deal. Appreciate it, fellas, and we'll get this up as soon as possible.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right,
Nice.
then.
Yep.